following the last episode, we posted that up, and I reached out to PrizzaMike. We were talking about the sketchiest things you've ever done, and we brought up PrizzaMike drifting his beer can 180 SX out there, and we reached out to him to see if we can kind of get his perspective. We didn't want to just be giving our 2 cents and not let him have a chance to speak his piece. So he was cool enough to come on and talk to us about it, man. He's like a really cool dude, really nice and humble, and seeing it from the other side of the coin really gives you like a different view on it.
Right. I think when I first hopped on with Mike, I was telling him, it's hard for people like Darius and I, like quote unquote regular people, because the internet's a massive space now. And so it's like, not without personally knowing somebody, you just don't know what's going on. And so 98% of the internet is just speculation, especially with high visibility shit like this. I remember last week we posted the episode and Darius tagged him, and I tagged Zillakami when we were talking about his rap song. You know what I mean? Like we've tagged Nora Yaro, like we tag people all the time and shit, and they never see it because they all have followings and they're like a big deal. You know what I mean? And obviously by no fault of them, because they just get flooded with stuff. But Darius was like, yo man, PrizzaMike got back to me. And I was like, oh shit, like get him on the podcast.
Yeah.
It did, man. It was super cool. We aim to do more shit like this anyways. And honestly, it just kind of came about super organically and kind of on its own, which was surprising.
Yeah.
But anyways, without further ado, here's the title.
I've never seen a chase run like this in my life.
Oh my God!
A textbook head-to-head battle.
Welcome to Sincerely Japan, the drifting podcast.
All right, everybody, welcome back. So episode 9, we talked about kind of a lot of stuff. And then at the tail end there, we touched on PrizzaMike and his 180 wreck and gave him roses at the end of the episode. And long story short, dude, we got him on the show. So welcome, Mike. Thanks for being here, dude. Darius and I are both really stoked to have you and kind of talk more instead of just speculating, you know what I'm saying, about kind of what your experience is and getting more of that firsthand, I guess, for everybody in terms of what happened and kind of leading you through the rebuild and everything like that.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, dude. It was interesting because, I already told you before the call, but, a lot of times we'll tag people or we'll reach out and we'll say, hey, thanks to so-and-so, like you've got a sick car or like we'll do this thing called giving roses to people, right? So like we'll find people on Instagram that we like or builds that we like. And so we'll like give them the roses, like metaphor. Because, when you die and you give somebody flowers, it's the same thing. It's like we just want to do that before you're dead. So that's where it came from, man. So we'll do that and we'll reach out to people, but anybody with a following, dude, and like you've got 30,000, 34,000, that's huge. Really for anybody in the car community or the drifting community, that's huge. And so let's just start kind of from ground zero, dude. Like what's, where you're from, how old are you and kind of what got you into drifting?
For sure. So right now I'm 26. I'm from Chicago suburbs. Like Bolingbrook and Bartlett type areas.
Yeah.
What got me into drifting? Well, in high school, my friends would always draw out like their 240 hatchbacks that they had. Back then they were like $300 for a running,
right?
Stock 240. So that kind of inspired me just to get that car in general, and then I started working, saving up, eventually was able to buy my own 240. I actually traded a Civic for it, straight trade,
nice.
Like a 98 EK Civic.
Dude, and those are getting hard to come by too now. It's like,
yeah, they
for
are.
real.
But it was a single cam, whatever. But I learned from ground zero, open diff, single cam, stick.
Right.
And I would go out to the parking lots with them, late at night, just trying to do figure eights. And, one part after the other, and now we're here.
Hell yeah, dude.
Wait, so is that same car?
Yeah, same car.
Damn.
7 years.
That hurts even worse.
Yeah.
Wait. So is it converted? Is it right-hand drive converted or is it a 180?
Yeah. I swapped it myself 5 years
Oh,
ago.
okay. Did what? Firewall swap?
Yeah.
Jeez. How was that? Because that's all. Is it what? Spot welds?
They like from the factory, yeah, it's all spot welds, but you can just cut out like a U shape, basically, like including the trans tunnel, pull the windshield, all the wiper stuff as well.
Right.
And then I stitch weld all of it back.
Damn. Yeah.
What,
I thought it was a factory 180.
No.
It looks, dude. It look in photos and videos. It looks legit.
Was that just to get to that, get to that 180 SX styling, or was there another reason behind that?
That was it. I just wanted to be, like at the time they were illegal still. So I was like, I'll just make my own. It's much cheaper. I got the parts for like $300 and did all the work myself.
Damn, dude. That's
I
sick.
respect that.
Yes. So tell us a little bit, dude. Like, so I won't get too much into the weeds of it. Like, what happened in the accident and kind of what was your mindset that day? I mean, because that's not, I think for anybody that's put that much time into a build and have that much attachment, like that's just got to be, like shattering.
Yeah, it didn't even feel real. I'm not even gonna lie. I had literally just finished the car that morning, like put drop knuckles on, got it aligned, and then I was dropping off cores to my friend who he makes the drop knuckles.
Okay, gotcha.
And all that. So I was literally dropping them off to him, just the cores, and we're just gonna hang out and look at the car, whatever. And he's only like 10 minutes away. And literally crossing this intersection, just going straight. It wasn't even like a fresh green light, like it was already green. And then once I hit the middle of the intersection, I just got smashed so hard. I thought my wheel fell off. Like I didn't see anything. Like not that it's ever happened to me, but I was like, okay, maybe that's what it feels like. I'm like, what happened? I get out of the car and I actually posted the video of this because I started recording from inside the car just so I could remember it, freshly or whatever.
Right.
I like walk around and I see the car. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? I'm like looking around to see if there's another car. And there's another car like right where I got hit. It was like a Maxima or something. I was like, what? No.
Wait, so let me ask you real quick, because I've been in an accident in my baby at the time. Was your first thought like, okay, I survived, I'm good, or what the fuck happened to my car?
At first, I was like, what happened to my car? But then I saw that I got hit. And then I saw how far in the door was. And I was like, thank God it was right-hand drive.
Seriously?
Oh,
yeah.
Dude, I didn't even think about that. You like saved your own life.
I mean, yeah, you heard it last episode, dude. Darius and I were talking about, I mean, the cars are not structural at all. How far in did it actually get dented in?
I mean, I can't open the door, and it smashed my seat over so far that it's hitting the other seat. Dude.
And that's...
And then the trans tunnel is hitting the drive shaft.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so how did you come out of this? I mean, there's obviously like the token photo is you with blood all over your face. Did you have any injuries?
So right after those photos, actually, you can see the one where I'm standing up, obviously, and then a few scrolls later, I'm kneeling.
Yeah.
My right leg like gave out, like I couldn't even stand on it.
Wow.
Yeah, I probably from the impact, just being slammed on the right side of the car.
Right.
So they actually took me to the ER from there. Did X-rays and stuff like that. Luckily, nothing was broken, but it was just all sprained and bruised.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it makes for an easy recovery, I suppose, right? I mean, it's what, like a week or two of probably a discomfort, and then you're kind of back at it, or do you still have complications from it?
Well, honestly, my back is still like it'll stiffen up sometimes, and I'm not sure if that's directly from that or not, but I never really had this issue, this drastic before.
Right.
So, I mean, that's really the most lingering thing at this point.
Yeah. So you say you got hit, you got smacked by a Maxima or something. Was that other person okay? And then after that, what was the kind of fallout of that whole situation?
Yeah. How did the fight go?
So actually, I walked up to them. There was two people in the car that I saw. They never got out of the car the whole time. And the only thing they said to me was like, "Are you okay?" or like something like that. That's it. And they didn't say anything else. I was like literally dripping blood from my face.
Jesus.
You're a better man than me because I would have had a 2-piece for those motherfuckers. Ready to
I
go.
will see, and maybe that's why they stayed in the car. You know what I mean? Like, I do feel like that as a society. It's like, you know, I don't know, man. Especially for, I think, tuner cars and people that are car guys. I don't know. I feel like that's the stigma almost, right? Is like if somebody wrecks into you, you're just gonna like beat the shit out of them.
Right.
And so they're probably like, all right, for my safety, I'm gonna chill over here.
Yeah. They were in the car like the whole time. Like I did not see them get out once. It was pretty crazy.
Damn, dude. I mean, yeah. It's weird how people react to like trauma like that too, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because that's such a heat of the moment thing, and then like you said, like your whole body and mindset is like, what the fuck? Like, so yeah, I mean, it's wild for sure. Darius had a really good question, dude. Like, so after everything, did you have insurance on the car? Like, did you get anything back for that or no?
Yeah, I had to insure it. It was just on liability since I I didn't have it finished, so I didn't have it like inspected for its value type of thing.
Oh, right.
So I have a lawyer now, and we're actually still trying to get all the documents together and receipts, and you know how that
Right.
goes, just
Yeah.
adding it all up. But so yeah, I haven't seen anything yet.
What an-
Probably will be a couple months.
Oh, well, hopefully get something out of that. I mean, it looks like other than do you have plans on like reshelling it or something? I'm kind of skipping a little bit forward, but since we're on the topic of the fallout, like
So like
Go ahead.
ideally, I don't know. I'm like really attached to this car. I if it could be pulled and fixed, like I would do that. I would do it that route. Like, but resale would be easy. I would only need a skirt at that point. Every other
Right.
body piece was fine somehow. But then again, finding a 180 shell is hard. But then if I got a 240, it'd be, left-hand drive, obviously, which my girlfriend has one, and it would just look identical to hers at that point.
yeah,
True.
I'm like, do I want to swap it again? It's just, there's so many options at this point. I'm just gonna wait for the check and then see what my budget is at that point.
Right. Dude, seeing like a full rebuild on that car would be insane. Now, I mean, like I'm not an engineer, but I would be willing to bet that structurally it's like it's never going to come back. But
Oh yeah, definitely.
but seeing if you would even be able to like straighten it out again and make it into a semblance of a really clean car, I think that would be so sick, because it's like, Darius and I talk about this all the time, and I'm sure you have the same conversation. Is like they're just not getting easy to come by anymore. And so a lot of people take the easy route with reshelling and then just scrap these. And so it's like you just keep dwindling the numbers of clean 240s now.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that would be tight.
So as you're, I'm assuming you get the car back to your place, whatever, and you're like walking around looking at it. What like possesses you to be like, okay, it still runs and drives. If I can get this bitch aligned, we can get the show back on the road.
We will rebuild.
Actually, I'll tell you what we did. So after the ER or whatever, I was there for a few hours, obviously, and then it was, nighttime, whatever. So went home, went to sleep. They actually towed my car to an impound lot. So my brother and I, next day in the morning, we go out to the impound lot, and we go see it, whatever. I'm like, I wonder if it still starts. Like, let's just see. So I hit all my safety switches on, whatever. And then it starts right up, like no issues. I'm like, no way. No way. And the radiator didn't hold fluid. I think it probably, the impact or whatever, maybe cracked the core, which it did end up cracking the core. And then I'm like, all right. I asked the guys, hey, can I just drive this thing out of here? They're like, that thing will never drive again. I'm like, no, I'll just like skid it out, like whatever. I'm just gonna come pick it up on a flatbed. And they're like, no, we'll winch it out. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So I ended up paying like $580 for them to winch it out. I was like,